Greetings, royal family. So finally, the wait is over. Season 10, Love and Hip Hop. I don't know if this is episode 1 and 2, because I wasn't expecting it to be 2 hours long. Homecoming / Messy Boots. Baby, let's get right into it. She's back. Chrissy is back in town. And you know what? She came kicking in the door, waving the 4-4. All right? Okay. So Chrissy is back in town. As you know, she's been gone since season 2, and she is back. So this is the homecoming. So Mona said, you know what? You guys want a show? I'm going to give you a show. So she's been in Miami because her and Jim Jones were separated. They were on marriage boot camp. I don't know if you guys watched that show, but I know that they were on there with Nancy, which is Jim Jones' mother. Hilarious. Anyway, so she comes back to a dirty house, a dirty kitchen. Jim Jones has stuff all over the place. What is it with these reality shows filming dirty kitchens? Like, can y'all get it together? Gross, gross, gross. Welcome home, Chrissy. So for whatever reason, Chrissy feels like she's back in town and she has to clean up a lot of things, you know, literally and figuratively. So she has some scores to settle, okay? So she has an agenda and she wasted no time. So we move on to see Miss Yandy, okay? She steps on the scene looking fabulous. And as usual, Yandy is working. She's working on a project. She's always keeping herself busy, hustling, a grinder. We find out that she is on the board of directors for a prison reform program that she's been a part of for quite some time. As you know, Mendices is still in jail. Joel Santana, he's in jail. Remy Ma is off of house arrest. So, you know, Yandy is familiar with people in and out of jail. So she's a board of directors. So she's hosting an event and we see Remy, Rich Dollars, we see Jonathan, and we see Juju in attendance. So Remy, girl, big sis, Remy, you look good, girl. You look amazing. So Remy is kind of chit-chatting with the group and she wants to have a celebration being that she is no longer on parole and she doesn't have her little ankle monitor on. So the squad is at Yandy's event, you know, and she's giving her speech and they're just kind of chopping it up. And then in walks Miss Kimbella. Okay, Miss Kimbella, she shows up and she wants to support the cause because Joel Santana, which is her, they're married now, right? Her husband, he was recently incarcerated. So she understands the struggle. So her and Kimbella are sitting down and Yandy's just mentioning the fact that it's good that they can actually sit down and be cordial with one another because they had their static the last season. So it's unknown if they're really friends. I mean, Yandy seems to think that they're heading into the right direction of being friends, but later on in the episode, Kimbella she had a different story to tell. So in the same venue, Juju, Jonathan, and Yandy, they're sitting down. And Jonathan tells the girls that Chrissy is back, okay? So of course, you know, he always has the information. He's always willing to share the information. So Chrissy's back. So Yandy goes into her confessional and she goes into why her and Chrissy fell out. So just to summarize Chrissy's beef with Yandy, Chrissy felt that Yandy to me, it seemed like Chrissy felt that Yandy should stay in her place. You know, Chrissy refers to Yandy as the help, which is disrespectful because Yandy did a lot of stuff for Jim Jones and for Dipset. And she's worked hard, you know. So Chrissy's just like, you know, she should basically bow down to her. And Yandy has gotten better at what she's been doing, made some connections in the industry, and she's growing. So she was on the come up. Chrissy wasn't feeling that. So I guess, you know, Chrissy just felt like she should stay in her place. And Yandy's like, no, not happening. The end. So that's pretty much their beat. So Sin Santana, she goes into her little spiel. So after 4 months of being engaged to Joe Budden's, she found out that he was cheating. Moving along. Erica Mena, finally, she seems like she's extremely happy. She's anticipating marrying Safaree. We know now that they did get married in a private ceremony. And the reason why it was private is so that Mona Scott Young could have all the footage for the show. Well played. I respect it. So they're gushing over each other and they're all in love and they're expecting their first baby. So it's good to see. Good to see. All right, moving along. Papoose, Joe Budden, and Rich. They're at a pool hall and the guys are just congregating. And Joe is telling the guys why him and Sin fell out. He pretty much feels that when Sin went into his phone, she saw some things that she wasn't happy about and she misinterpreted what she saw. You know, Joe, if you take Joe Budden seriously, he will really drive you crazy. He really will. So Pap is pretty much trying to school him. And as usual, you know, Joe Budden, he's just kind of being argumentative. He likes to argue. He loves all of that drama. Up next, big sis Remy. She's in the studio and she has unfinished business. She owes the label an album, so she's got to get to work, okay? She has a new baby. She's working on her the podcast show that they have. Oh, God, what is it called? For the Culture? I think that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? Anyway, whatever. With Joe Buttons and Jinx and all of them. So she has to focus on that job with Revolt TV, you know, being a wife, being a mom, and she also owes her label an album. So you see that she is under a lot of stress, okay? And Papoose is in the studio. He's encouraging her. And he tells her, like, look, I got your back 100%. You know, always supportive. Love that. Now, back to big, bad Chrissy, who just blew back into town, all right? So Kimbella and Chrissy, I never thought I'd see the day. They sit down to chat. So Chrissy thinks that she is doing such an honorable thing. You know, she's being the bigger person by calling Kimbella and sitting down and chatting with her. So Kimbella pretty much has questions like, look, girl, why did you sneak me and drag me by my curls across that hotel room floor? You know, so Chrissy apologizes. And she tried, you could tell she was getting ready to argue, but she apologizes. So for now, it's all good with Kimbella and Chrissy, or, you know, so it seems. Oh, my God. In true reality TV fashion, Kimbella asked Chrissy about Yandy. Listen, Chrissy, you ain't slick, girl. You know, we know the only reason why you called Kimbella and had this little peace treaty is because you need allies. Remember, she talked about burning bridges and she cut everybody off when she left New York. So you don't have any allies. And you and Kimbella have a common enemy, which is Yandy. So, girl, you're not fooling anybody. But well played. I'm here for it. It's entertaining so far. So Sin, Santana, Joe, they meet up to talk. Fast forward. I fast forwarded past this because I already know that Sin Santana is going to be yelling in the park. I've seen the previews. And Joe is just going to sit there and be passive aggressive. If I am wrong, correct me in the comments. If I'm right, let me know. So the only thing that I want to know at this point, Sin, is how is that pedestal that Joe put you on? How's that pedestal going up there, girl? Petty. Anyway, so Remy's release party. All right, this is where things are kicking up now. All right, so this is not an album release party, ladies and gentlemen. This is a release from parole party. Yo, this show is so darn ghetto, and I love every minute of it. All right, so in the room, everybody is there. The castmates are there, you know, filled with love. Remy is happy because she doesn't have to be home at 8 o'clock. You go on, girl. Your ankle is free. So Papoose, he grabs the mic and he spits some bars about black love. And we see Jonathan in his Beetlejuice jacket. He is pointing out the people who are in the venue that have beef with one another. So leave it up to Jonathan to kind of point out that the drama could pop off based on who's in the party. I like Jonathan. So Safaree and Joe, they're cool again because remember they had that little tiff, and I don't even understand why Joe was so erratic and just blew up on Safaree. You know, people pick on Safaree because they just think he's soft. He's not a fighter. He's a pretty boy. So I think they kind of use him to flex their muscles, but whatever. So they're all good again. And Safaree and Rich, we don't know at this point, because for whatever reason, Rich thought it was a good idea to beef with Safaree over Erica Mena. It's like, first of all, shut up. You didn't even want Erica Mena. You were dogging her, trying to play her. You didn't do anything for her or her music career. So just shut up, Rich. Anyway, so remember, we're still at Remy's release from parole party. And then all of a sudden, kaboom, Chrissy and Kimbella step in the room. So Yandy is like, what in the... She was thrown off. She was totally thrown off. She didn't know that Chrissy was in town, but she was not expecting for Kimbella and Chrissy to link up and show up at this party together. But Yandy's keeping her cool. She's not shook. She's just annoyed. And she's shocked to see them together. Now, this is where I thought the episode ended, okay? So I put the episode ended with Chrissy going up to Yandy because they're at tables and they're standing around. And Chrissy is just like stroking her chin like she's some Brooklyn boss mafia, like, it's been a long time. And I'm like, what the? So I thought the episode was over, but Mona said, psych, you're going to get these 2 hours. And I just want somebody to tell Chrissy, look, you are not like a mob boss. You're not in the mafia. Like, what is all of this? You just came on the scene with an agenda and you're here to shut stuff down. But girl, relax, relax. Chrissy, you might be in for a rude awakening because things have changed. Okay, you've been gone for a couple of seasons. Things have changed. But for the sake of entertainment, I can totally appreciate you coming back just like rah-rah, coming back like you never left. I'm here for it. Great entertainment. Now, again, I thought the show was over, but it wasn't. So we move on to Kimbella, Yandy, and Chrissy. So they're at Remy's party. And Chrissy is telling Yandy what she didn't like about her. Like, she didn't waste any time. She's just like, you know what the issue is I have with you? And, Chrissy's just popping off. And I'm like, this was 10 years ago, Chrissy. 10 years ago. Let it go. Yandy doesn't even work with Jim Jones anymore because you claimed that was the initial problem. You didn't like that she was telling him how to spend his money and she was all in his business. Mind you, she was managing him, right? 10 years, girl. A decade. Let it go. But Chrissy said, no, I'm not letting nothing go. She just comes across as insecure, right? Like, I don't know. Like, you're telling Yandy who she should and should not be, what place she should stay in. Relax, Chrissy. But for the sake of entertainment, keep going. All right. So Chrissy and Kimbella. So we move on to another scene. We see Chrissy invites Jonathan out for a little outing, a little lunch, to sit down and kind of hash things out with Kimbella. Because Kimbella's thing is, Jonathan, you are my friend too. But you know that Jonathan is going to be loyal to Yandy. They've been friends for years. He's always been loyal to Yandy. I don't understand what this little setup was supposed to do with Chrissy and Kimbella. Like, what are you guys supposed to convince him to come over to your side? So at this point, it just seems like Chrissy is trying to grab as many allies as humanly possible. Yeah, why not? I don't know. She's just not even discreet with it. Like, you're not... Chrissy is not even trying to like move slow and steady. She's just like, look, Jonathan makes it very clear. Look, I love you, Kimbella. Chrissy, I got love for you too. Because they've all known each other for years. But I'm loyal to Yandy. I'm not going to sit around and let the other talk about the other. But I don't want to be in the middle. Newsflash, Jonathan, you know these ladies. That's exactly what's going to happen. They are going to put you in the middle. And Chrissy just coming in, moving all the chess, like the pieces on the chessboard. She just like, look, I don't have time for this. Let's get this popping. Okay. Mona must be paying you top dollar because this was good. So again, Jonathan says like, look, he doesn't want to be in the middle. He's loyal to Yandy, but it's all love. So Chrissy talks about her having a women's investment group. Okay. Where she dabbles in real estate. So she pretty much, a group of women, they pull their money together and they buy houses, they flip them, and they sell houses. So, okay. So Kimbella says she wants in. slow your roll, Kimbella. Slow your roll. So this is again, this is her. What is it? Millionaire ladies millionaire, or something like that. So it's a little investment group that she has. Because I was wondering, like, what is she doing? Like, what was she doing when she was in Florida? Like, what's up? But now we know. All right, so we move on to Yandy and Sin. So Yandy, you know, Jonathan's probably somewhere with Kimbella and and Chrissy. So she ain't got no friends right now. You know, her friends are occupied. So her and Sin, they meet up. I fast forward a little bit of this, and then I stopped when Rich Dollars appeared. And of course, typical chatty patty. He comes talking about Safaree allegedly proposing to some girl in Jamaica, which is, I forgot her name, but she was on Love and Hip Hop Miami. So moving along. Anyway, Rich gets on my nerves. So we see Remy again. All right, Remy has a photo shoot. Why was Fat Joe, there was like a couch. Why was Fat Joe like right here while Remy was posing for her photo shoot? That just seemed weird. He was just sitting on the couch like watching her, like, I don't know. So when Remy is overwhelmed, you know, there's a lot going on. She feels that she's still suffering the after effects of when she went to jail, because when she was locked up, she was at the height of her career. So she lost a lot of time because she was in jail for several years, you know. So she's just trying to play catch up now. And on top of that, take on jobs, you know, to make ends meet. And also focus on this album. And she's raising, you know, her young daughter. So it's just a lot. It's a lot going on. So you could tell that she kind of wanted some sound advice. But Fat Joe is just telling Remy how she should manage her career, being a woman and being a mother. And it was just, there was no logic in it. You know, it was just, you got to do it for the fans. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to do it for them. But you're not giving her any, she's really needing help. You got to give her some tools. But what do you know? You're a man. You don't know anything about being a woman. But I think Remy will be just fine. So at this point, I noticed that Fat Joe was in two scenes. When Remy had her her release party, he was there, and now he's here at the photo shoot scene with her. All right, now get back in the studio. Lean back, Fat Joe. I don't want to see you on Love and Hip Hop New York. I just totally don't. Okay, moving along. This is where the mess is getting worse. It's growing. Mena, Erica Mena, and Tahiry. And it's just like the mess that's oozing out of this episode. I'm totally here for it. This is nuts. This season is nuts. Why is Erica Mena trying to play matchmaker with Tahiry and Joe Budden? Doesn't she like Sin? Like, her and Sin are not cool. I know that they used to date, but aren't they like all supposed to be friends? I know Tahiry and Mena are probably closer, but that's his ex. And I'm confused about that. I just feel like, even though Sin and Joe are not together, they still together. Because I'm pretty sure when Sin finds out that you, Erica, are trying to hook Tahiry up with Joe or trying to play matchmaker, she's going to be pissed. So I don't get it. Like, did I miss something? When did Erica Mena and Sin not be cool? Okay, anyway. So Jonathan, Sin, and Kimbella. They're sitting down, they're having like little, you know, lunch outside, a little cafe or a little diner or whatever. Yandy is the last one to arrive. So Yandy shows up. So now it's four of them. So Sin pretty much spills the beans about the foreclosure that happened to Jim Jones and Chrissy's house. So Yandy is reading the article, and she finds out that the mortgage hasn't been paid since 2010. And Yandy says that's interesting because that's around the same time that she stopped managing. Like, she wasn't a manager for Jim Jones and his crew or whatever anymore. That was a good one, Yandy. So Kimbella's like, oh, Yandy, that's messy. That's messy, Yandy. Yandy's like, what? You know what I mean? I'm reading it right here. Like, this is what the blogs wrote. So their house went into short sale for $100. So Chrissy the Boss and Jim Jones, their house was sold at an auction for $100. And Kimbella is just totally dense at this point. She's just like, she feels that it's not true and it shouldn't be in the blogs. It's like, sweetie, once your house is up for auction, at that point, it is public information. It's probably public information prior to that. But when your house goes up for auction, it's public information. So Anyway, but I get it. You have to defend your new ally because you know she's friends with Chrissy for now. So Kimbella is turning up, honey. She goes off. She's telling Yandy that, you know, we're not friends and you're phony. And then Kimbella says that Yandy didn't do anything when when Chrissy pretty much punched her upside the head and dragged her across the carpet. To which production shows the video of Yandy in between Kimbella and Chrissy and trying to stop it, you know. So I don't know. Kimbella, you okay, girl? Like, are you all right? She just jumps up and she goes off and Jonathan's like, girl, you just being too dramatic. She called him messy. She called Yandy phony and said, we're not friends. And she says, Sin, we're still cool. Okay. Mind you, Sin is the one that pulled out the phone and brought this information up. But whatever. I guess Kimbella just needs to step it up so she can have more scenes in the show. Moving on to Chrissy. Back to Chrissy. Now, she is claiming that she had no idea about the house being in foreclosure. Lies. Now, I know for a fact that property taxes and mortgage rates are high in New Jersey because I'm a Jersey girl. But to not pay your mortgage for nine years, I just want to know how. How? 9 years? Chrissy, you said you was she said she was in Miami for 4 years. And I think they had the house for like, what, 13, 14 years? See, that's the problem. Y'all don't know your math. I don't believe that she didn't know. Nice try, though, but I'm not buying it. Where's Nancy at this point? Nancy is Jim Jones' mother. Where's Pumkash? Where's Pumkash? Because, you know, when Nancy gets on the scene, Nancy's going to tell everything, okay? So I'm waiting for Pumkash to appear because she's going to spill the beans. You know, she has no filter. But I don't know. She says in her confessional, now we have to find a new house. You know, I can't believe this. I can't believe Jimmy didn't tell me this. Now we have to. How are you going to buy a new house? And your previous one was just auctioned off. I mean, later on, she did say that her house, her name wasn't on the mortgage, but it was on the deed to the house. But how you, girl, I don't know. How are you in real estate and you don't understand the status of your mortgage, or you don't know? Like, you don't know that your mortgage has to be paid monthly? Every single month. There's 12 of them in the year. I'm not buying it. Mona, make it believable, because this one, nice try though. Because she has to give some sort of explanation, but I'm not buying. And it's not even that, like, y'all lived in that house for 13 years. I just, like, what did you think? For the 9 years that a mortgage wasn't being paid, I'm sure you got notifications or certified letters, something. I find that hard to believe. Like, Chrissy, you want to manage any and everything in Jim Jones' life. Like, you didn't want Yandy to tell him how to spend his money. I find it hard to believe that you had no idea that the mortgage wasn't being paid. Watch how many times this story changes. Anyway, like I said, I'll applaud them for effort. It is the first episode, and she came in setting it off. And I'm here for it. So moving along, we have Joe, Tahiry, Erica Mena, and Safaree. So Safaree is having a function at his house, and Joe arrives. Joe is there, and him and Tahiry are in the kitchen, and Erica excuses herself, and she's trying to say, hey, you're single, you know, you guys should, you know, mingle. Bad idea, Joe. Bad idea. And I just don't understand why Erica is gung-ho with setting up Joe with Tahiry. We'll see how that plays out. All right, back to my boss, Chrissy. She meets with her business partner, because remember, she has this real estate business, and she has a partner. So she meets with him. He's pretty much pissed about the foreclosure, because according to Chrissy, she found out when the public found out, when it was in the news. Like I said, you got to make this a little bit more believable, y'all. Come on. Excuse me. So he's pissed about the foreclosure. So Chrissy pretty much blames Jim. And all of a sudden now there's this mysterious accountant. I told you the story is going to grow legs and wings. There's this accountant that they were dealing with that was supposed to refinance the house back in 2000, whatever. Just stop. Just don't say anything, Chrissy, because you're sounding like you're drowning. You're crazy. She also says, again, that she was not on the mortgage. She was on the deed. Girl, you know what's funny? when Yandy was given, because they flashed all the way back, when Yandy was trying to give financial advice, Chrissy, you treated her like she didn't know what she was doing. And I don't know, I smell a scam. And I think that's why you wanted Yandy to scram, because I think that you was doing something in the mix with that house. You were hands-on. You don't strike me as the type of woman that would leave things up to Jim Jones to pay the mortgage and things like that. I'm not buying it. But hey, we're here. So Chrissy's partner basically tells her that she needs to fix this ish ASAP, or else she is going to owe him a lot of money. So basically, he probably put up most of the money to invest in this business, and he wants a return on his investment, just like anybody else making an investment. Mena, she wants to get a prenup. So we move on to Erica, and her and Safaree are meeting with a lawyer, and Safaree is talking about insuring the house that he's going to buy, making sure, I guess, just kind of sorting out their business things. And Erica kind of puts out there right in front of the lawyer, first time Safaree's hearing it, that she wants a prenup. And Safaree goes off because the lawyer's like, did you discuss this with him? Because he can tell by Safaree's body language that this is the first time Safaree's hearing this. So he excuses himself, and Safaree tells her, right, he said this convo should have happened in private, not in front of a freaking stranger, in front of this lawyer. Like, he's totally right. So Erica, she starts crying. You know, she's pregnant, she's emotional, she starts crying. She says she just wants to feel protected. And Safaree's not buying that. He said, well, you know what? Then she has the audacity to say to him, if you cheat on me, I get everything, or something like that. He was like, heck no, you know. So now his wheels are turning. Like I said, we know that they're already married, so we're just going to play along. His wheels are turning, and he's like, nah, maybe I should go look for an attorney myself and see and sort things out. Girl, Erica, are you just determined to ruin, God, just ruin everything? Geesh, I don't know, whatever. So that's where the episode ends. As far as, this was a great season opener. Again, I did not know that there were 2 episodes, 2 hours season premiere. So I am here for it. I am here for Chrissy and her aggressive self. I'm here for Chrissy keeping up 10-year-old beefs. It seems like she came to attack Yandy. Now, what's up with that, Mona? Because I thought you and Yandy were cool. So why is Chrissy coming back solely to attack Yandy? We'll see how this works. Great season opener. The confessional looks, the ladies looked amazing. They all look great. My personal favorites were Chrissy in the black and Remy in the, it looked like a purple-esque type, whatever. So they look great. Remy, girl, big sis, you look like your life is good and you just got good vibes. That's that black love, okay? So, Royal Family, I wanted to keep this extremely short because I was not expecting it to be a 2-hour episode. I'm going to have fun with this. Now, I watched the other franchises of Love and Hip Hop, but this is my first time reviewing Love and Hip Hop. And of course, Homecoming, like the original, these are the originators, so I had to jump on here. So we're going to have some fun with this, Royal Family. If you made it this long, be sure to hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Thank you for stopping by. Get down in the comments. Let's have some fun, okay? Let's go off. Let's talk about some of the things that you noticed in the episode. And just be respectful and let's have a good time. So, Royal Family, I'm tuning in. I'm on for this. So until next time, I'll see you next week. Peace.